Hello, welcome to a video where I'm going to showcase some of my own battles in the Go Battle League in Open Grey League. I'm going to use a Pokemon that not a lot of people have. It's only obtainable in Mexico and I think in the south of the United States as well. It's also been nerfed, unfortunately. I got it at the EUIC London's final meetup on Saturday from Al Pochum. You may know him, he's from Mexico, also a content creator. And yeah, we see here like on the lower left, that's me and him, and on another familiar face you might recognize is Tho on the right lower side. Take a look at these battles and my team. I have Hawlucha, Double Steel. Double Steel is usually as boring as it gets. I think Hawlucha might spice it up a little, and being my other steel type, Alolan Senseless, which is basically there to cover like flyers as well. But honestly, in my experience, Alolan Senseless with Shadow Claw is not great against Noctowl even. Let's take a look at my battles here. Um, so Hawlucha has this unique move called Flying Press. I think the only other Pokemon to have is to Libre, and it's like the best move in the game. Even when resisted, it's still better than Aerial Ace being neutral. It also had Wing Attack and Sky Attack removed, unfortunately. So now we're stuck with Poison Jab and Aerial Ace. Didn't really think that nerf was needed. It could have been a really fun core breaker, and I don't think in the current meta would ever have been overpowered with because it has really low bulk. This is also a core breaker to my team, by the way. And on top of that, there's Lantern Noctowl all over the place, right? And that's difficult to do with. But yeah, as you can see, I just go straight Flying Press here. It is resisted, but it hits better than Aerial Ace. I tried to catch a move unsuccessfully, but my opponent still decides to throw. If this lock-on goes through, I actually might take out this Deoxys before it even switches out, which is great for me. But the struggle that I found a lot is that I'm trying to bait out like a Medicham, and then there's a Noctowl in the back that just gets realigned to my Hawlucha. So that's been a difficult thing. My opponent no-shields the first move, which is somewhat smart. I mean, Regishield's very fine here, but the foul plays will end up, they come out faster than my charge moves, but they definitely don't do as much damage here. And if they have a Noctowl, this is still not a great spot to be in, especially when they have a shield advantage. I'm actually gonna go for Focus Mode because I feel like they might no shield this, and then I'm not in a great spot either. They actually do shield. If I threw a Zapcan there, would not have killed. Gonna catch the foul player. I am expecting Noctowl on the back. Hopefully, I can pressure it with a flying pressure or something with some different kind of damage. But I need to mitigate this damage somewhere. He's storing up a foul play there and then swapping into Noctowl, which is going to farm me down now. That's not great because I have Shadow Claw alone on Sandslash. It just doesn't hit hard. And the fact that this Pokemon now gets so much energy also puts me in a really rough spot because the Umbreon has a move stored. My Registeel is like 4 lock-ons away, so it's very tight to get there. Look at how much this Shadow Ball does. It does like 50%. So the next one will take me out. But yeah, he still has some more energy because he farmed down my full Lucha there. Now, I think my ideal play would have been to try and catch there, but I was unable to. Also, probably because I didn't wait out the clock properly. And yeah, they have another Shadow Ball. It doesn't really matter, though. I think my best play probably would have been to undercharge this, lock on down with the Registeel. Because at this point, I know the Umbreon already has a move. He's probably building up to 2 moves, trying to swap into the Snarl to hopefully have him overtap, but or take the full 3 turns to get there, but I'm not able to, and I don't get to this Bulldoze either. Bulldoze may not even have taken out, to be honest. Got a tough game, well played by my opponent as well. As you can see, like, I tried to bait out a Medicham, and again, there's there's Noctowl on the back instead. So my Registeel usually ends up being really good in the back, but I throw it away kind of in case there's a Medicham. Again, Sableye, commonly paired with Lantern and Noctowl. I catch a move here. It's definitely not the return. People just go straight foul play. I have seen some people go return on Hawlucha. It is resisted, so I would get to another move. And you'll see that again, this person is going to stay in. The reason why is because they're really weak to Registeel. So yeah. Taking another foul play here. Can I get to 1 Zap Cannon before the third foul play? No, I cannot. So that's tough. Yeah, gonna throw the Zap Cannon right now. Doing one lock on first. And yeah, they actually do end up shooting that. So they're double shooting right away in the lead. Not getting a defense drop, or sorry, attack drop kind of hurts there. I kind of have to shoot this because I need to take out this Pokemon. It already has so much energy. On top of that, my A/slash can't really take the move either. But I do want switch just because I expect Noctowl in the back. In the back is an Azumarill, and again I expect Noctowl, so I'm gonna bring my Hawlucha here, but I have no shields. If I can get an Ice Beam, maybe I'm successful. I'm gonna throw the Flying Press here, which does some damage. The most damage I get here is from the Poison Jabs though, but unfortunately this matchup is not as great when I have no shields. I managed to catch a move here. If this Ice Beam is great for me, it's a player of Hydro Pump Azu, however, and it already has some energy, so this Azumarill is going to meet my demise because this Bulldoze, a bad move, won't take it out. It will get to that Hydro Pump. Right. I really like I don't hate A-Slash in this matchup at all. I like this matchup actually. Shadow Claw just feels so natural here, but really matter in the back as a Noctowl. I don't even throw a charge move because that's over. Again, Registeel would have been amazing in the back there. All right, next battle, I lead my Hawlucha into Deoxys. Again, massive core breaker. I've seen this a lot with like Dragonair and Toxapex. I think that's like a Japanese team. I just double shield here, try to catch a move on Registeel at some point. I probably shouldn't though. Most of the time it ends up being like a ghost type in the back, which I could have my Alolan Sandslash on, or Noctowl, which I want my Registeel on. And I actually go for Psycho Boost here, then swap into Sableye. I'm going to throw one move so it gets into like Zap Cannon range, or I can bring an A-Slash here. I definitely should have brought in A-Slash. Because it's likely... the A-Slash is just worse against Deoxys as well. So I regret this decision right from the start, to be honest. And if it's Noctowl again, I'm in a tough spot because I don't win this matchup now. And an energy disadvantage. This does a lot of damage, but it doesn't do enough. I don't even get the attack drop, so now this foul play will definitely take me out. I mean, I think even with an attack drop would have. And I think they come out with another foul play as well. Actually, the attack drop may have been the not getting the attack drop may have been crucial there. They actually hard swap right away, which is somewhat okay for me, I guess. I can get this a little bit lower. I need to catch a Psycho Boost though. Flying Press coming in. I don't manage to catch that. Look at how much those double super effective counters do. Thunderbolt comes in here, and that will do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, in these battles, this team has worked a lot for me. Unfortunately, it doesn't really look like it on these on this recording, but you know, I'm just keeping it real. Like I said, they're a foul play, so if they have anything else than a steel type in the back, I just lose. Let's see what it is. Champ, Noctowl, always Noctowl. Kind of unfortunate. Yeah, Hawlucha does not do well against Noctowl. Next battle. See if I can get a win. Tropius. Wonderful. Unless it's Air Slash, then it's not that wonderful, but it's Razor Leaf. Since they're staying in, I'm expecting something like a Steel type in the back. Gonna throw the Aerial Ace here, which is super effective, but doesn't even do that much, to be honest. I want to bait out a potential Medicham if there is one. My whole team is strong as Razor Leaf Tropius, so I'm really fine with that. I bait out Galarian Stunfisk instead, and this tells me that there is double steal here. If that's Registeel, this might be a little bit tricky. If this is Bastiodon, it should be very fine, I think. I'm not even sure. I'm going to use a shield here, just because I want to pressure their shields. I don't have a lot of farm down potential here. I survive Earthquake regardless. They have to throw 2 Earthquakes. I'm going to throw my next Focus Blast. See if I can get the last shield here. We do get the last shield, that's great, but again, Poison Jab triple resisted here. I can't really farm this down, so I would have to do it with the Alolan Sandslash. Luckily, I survived this, and my Registeel is just barely good enough. My Registeel is not that great, but it hits most the bulk point against most Galarian Stunfisk, especially in higher elo. If they have like a really bad, like a Galarian Stunfisk from field research, then it's yeah, then I don't always hit the bulk point. Then the matchup becomes a little bit less. I tried to get this into like flying press range with the Shadow Claws, because this double super effective move does a ton of damage. Actually does like 70%, I would say, 75. But yeah, again, also this is triple resist Poison Jab, so I can't farm this down. Thing is already so bulky. And since I don't respect Razor Leaf Double Steal, I'm just gonna go throw the Aerial Ace BM. Doesn't kill, I don't care. They then stop moving. I don't know why. I'm just gonna throw another one. I make a misplay. I should have thrown another Aerial Ace BM, to be honest, because get wrecked. And then I should have BM'd with Bulldoze here, but you know, just in case they get 2 Leaf Plays, I'll just take this Pokemon. That's actually a win. Double Steal against Double Steal. This is not a good lead. I lose the zeros and the one shoots. A Zap Cannon one shots me. But with 2 shoots up, I do outpace to 4 flying press over 3 Zap Cannons. So in that case, I do win the 2 shoots. I win the 2 shoots really hard as well. I come out with like a 70% HP Hawlucha here. First Zap Cannon comes in, does not debuff me, which is nice. But regardless, even if I get the attack drop, I think 2 flying press will still take this Registeel out anyway. First one comes in. Look at how low that already gets it. And they barely do get there, but they need 8 seconds. AKA, that's similar to 8 of my poison jabs to get to another one. I get the attack drop. That's fine. I'm just going to build 2 flying press here. But my worry is that this might be like a Medicham in the back. There is. This I'm attack dropped. I kind of don't even want to throw a move here. I'm going to catch the Ice Punch on my Registeel, which is still not a great matchup, by the way. But I kind of felt like Registeel wins the 0 shields against Mancha most of the time. They have Power Up Punch, which is bad for me. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to throw like debuffed Aerial Aces because it already is a bad move on its own. Let alone when it's attack dropped. First Zap Cannon coming in here. Doesn't get shielded, which is great for me. I'm shields down. He still has 1 shield. Can I get to a move? No. They throw another Power Punch. This actually tells me that there's probably something like a Bastiodon in the back that's about as degen as it gets. Good thing is, this thing is now flying press range. I have 2 of these, so if it is Bastiodon in the back, I might just be fine. They do shoot that. That's okay. I'll just throw another one. Let's see what's in the back. And the truth is, though, Bastiodon against Sandslash in the 0 shields is not great. When shields are up, it's perfectly fine. I'm trying to like swap at the exact moment we would see P on the Bulldoze, but I'm 1 fast move too late. And now they get to the flamethrower first, so now I need to get to 2 flying presses before he gets to 1 move. And I'm not sure if I can. In fact, my HP already is so low, so I might not be able to get to the second one at all. Flying press does a lot, but it doesn't do enough. Can I get there? I barely can. So that's big. And now I take out this ABA double steal. Well, that's about as degen as it gets as well. And this gets really close. Because Medicham in the back is just a really big problem. And I couldn't really swap out. Hawlucha against Azumarill, which shoots up. This is a very fine matchup. In fact, I even have 2 Pokemon that are also fine against Azumarill in the back. Preferably, I want my Registeel on it. And this is kind of a problem because I know it's going to be Trevenant in the back. So I need to keep alignment. But I also can't really go shields down because a Shadow Ball does so much on Alolan Sandslash. But if I don't go shields down, then I might not win this matchup. On top of that, they will outpace me to the last foul play because it's 6-6-5 for them. It's 6-6-6 for me. Although I should be 1 ahead, and I do win the CMP. But I realized at the very end that I don't win the switch here if I try to farm down. So I'm gonna try to catch, but they don't throw. So that's interesting. They bring back in Azumarill, which again I don't like at all because there is Trevenant in the back. I'm 100% sure of it. In fact, if this was like a load of Marowak in the back, that kind of double goes exists as well. It's terrible. Take a look. First move coming in. It's only a play rough. Does decent damage on the Alolan Sandslash, but it hangs on comfortably. And as you see, Shadow Claws coming up. Is adding up, and then Bulldoze, this actually gets it really low. And now there's something in the back with shield advantage against I think my Lucha is pretty loaded, and then there's a Registeel, but my opponent makes a pretty slow swap. They do a bubble first, so it allows me to pace to this Zap Cannon. And an attack drop would be huge for here because otherwise they can take me out with a Shadow Ball and a Seed Bomb, and I do get it, so now they need 2 Shadow Balls. So this might just be fine. I think I'm 1 of an Aerial Ace. Shadow Ball comes in, doesn't even put me into the red. Now look at this. My opponent is a genius. Because he's predicting that I'm going to swap immediately after taking shield. Look. Really smart for my opponent. I didn't do that though, fearing that he might do that. So he throws C-Bomb. Now I can safely switch in, throw my Aerial Ace, and then jab down the Azumarill. So my opponent tries to 5-head me unsuccessfully. I think it was a really good attempt though. I may have done the same, to be honest. But at this level, I'm also expecting high level play from my opponent at times. Terrible lead. They usually have a Regieleki in the back. This is not what I want to see at all. Oh, I remember this. Oh, this is... Right. I usually just like to go straight Zap Cannon here. Really depends on what kind of Obstagoon I'm facing. This seems like an Obstagoon of really high defense, so they don't have a specific breakpoint on my Registeel. And in that case, like the counts don't add up a lot. Because you can see here that I will survive this cross chop and get to a Focus Blast. If you have a high attack Obstagoon, you hit a breakpoint here and Registeel would not be able to get there. But yeah, take 2 shields. Hawlucha resists about everything this Obstagoon has. It already revealed cross chop, so I can farm so much energy here. But my opponent is smart. They swap into Lickitung and I make a misplay here. This does so much damage. But if I swap here, that will allow them to just realign the way they want it. And I did swap. What I should have done here, I think, is double shield the Hawlucha, farm it down completely. Because 2 Flying Press will take out Noctowl with maybe 1 or 2 jabs. Maybe a little bit more. And then the Obstagoon, also gets 1 shot. So not a great play on my end because I already knew exactly how this was want to go. Once I make that switch, I can go to 100 energy here, but I go down in 1 counter anyway. I'm gonna throw a Bulldoze because I only get 1 move off against Obstagoon, which doesn't even do remotely enough damage. And then their timer's up. They can just go back and Noctowl, and that's just gonna be over. Even with 2 shields, the wing attacks super effective, just do enough. Gonna throw a Flying Press here to demonstrate how much this does. It doesn't do enough. Look at that. It's like a Hydro Cannon. Yeah, I barely don't get to another one. Wouldn't have mattered because otherwise I would have got counted down. So, unfortunate misplay on my end there. Triple normal. Try bringing your ghost into that. This is a very bad lead. A very bad lead. I'm going to try to be smart and catch a move here. Actually do. My opponent does throw immediately, which surprises me. I do expect this to be a surf though because they likely bait there anyway. And they stay in, which makes me think that, again, am I throwing away my Registeel for nothing here? But I can't really swap in my Alolan Sensors either because it doesn't take moves as well as Registeel does. Yeah, Zap Cannon coming in, it gets shielded, and this already makes me a little bit upset because I've seen so many Noctowl on the back, and I just feel like it's just gonna be Noctowl again. Registeel would have been so good, and I'm just letting it go here. Probably should have shielded that though. I'll let the first one go, expecting to surf. It's actually a Thunderbolt, so just putting everything on Hawlucha at this point, but Hawlucha is not a sweeper when there's like a Noctowl. And my opponent actually double shields, which makes me think there's definitely Noctowl on the back. Let's see if we can actually find out. I think they outpace to another surf here. Oh, we don't. Actually, swap out to throw my energy here. I do expect the Noctowl on the back. Maybe I can like get it really low. Actually, yes, Shadow, Charmeleon, Ninetales. My opponent makes a really good play catching this Flying Press here. But, catching this Flying Press is actually bad for them. Because this allows me to just throw 1 Ice Punch, take them out. And maybe, because I resist Fairy, I might be able to take out the Charmeleon and Ninetales with a Bulldoze. Because Shadow Charmeleon Ninetales is pretty fragile. I actually made a misplay throwing there. But I didn't guess they would throw anyway. And that Bulldoze barely takes out the Alolan Ninetales. That actually wins me that game. That looked very unwinnable from the start. Well, and that's a familiar name. Shadow Sableye. I don't exactly expect a Medicham with this in the back, so I'm just going to stay in for a bit. This Pokemon is also just really scary, especially with energy up. They throw on CMP here. This Foul Play definitely won't take me out, but it will do as much damage as that Flying Press we just saw over there. But yeah, that's not great. And predict something like probably just Lantern and Noctowl again in the back. That'll be fine for me. And this Flying Press is shielded. Let's see. Am I going to win switch here? Not. This Foul Play will take me out. Shadow Sableye is just such a good Pokemon. My opponent hard swaps into Registeel, which makes this really difficult for me. This makes me think that this is like double steal maybe. What are they trying to bait out here? Seems like a little bit of a risky play, but I guess they didn't anticipate me on having 2 fighters. So not a bad play. Gonna shield up this Focus Plus because it would one-shot me. And then go on my own. Hopefully the Shadow Claws put this into Focus Plus range. I do win the CMP, so they must have a really good Reggie. And that already tells me, yeah, this is not going to KO it, does it? Doesn't. I will survive theirs, which is nice, I guess. And I get the farm down, which is pretty big. My opponent is actually almost barely able to swap out, which is a smart play, because now I have to throw this move, right? I cannot farm them down. They will farm me down. In the back of the match, that's just over. And this is actually one of the very few times I top left, because I just lose to that. So basically, those were my battles. Those were my battles against or with the Hawlucha. I think it was a really fun Pokemon to try. It just, with the poison jab and without sky attack, wing attack, it just doesn't do. It's not the fun Pokemon to use I thought it would be. Flying Press still makes it very viable. It's a really good Pokemon. I still think, like, with the move, but not the most how do I say it, crucial one. The one you must have. Hope you liked the video and thanks for watching.